Hey guys, and welcome to my second video for Crocktober 2025, and today I'm going to share with you an experiment that made the most gooeyest lemony pudding ever. Now this one's a little bit of a cheat, but it's where I'm able to do, and we're going to use 2 lemon drizzle box cake mixes to make this. We're also going to use 2 box lemon pie fillings for this as well, but you know, sometimes that's what we have, and today that's what we have. Now I bought these from either Approved Food or Discount Dragon, and they were only like pennies, so you know, just shop around and see what you can find. But I'm not making the box mix as per instructions, you know, because they're not my dad and they can't tell me what to do, okay? That's just the way it is. Now the reason I'm doing this a little bit differently is because I'm not actually wanting a cake. I'm wanting a pudding or a dessert, you know, like a sponge pudding, the kind we had at school, only yummier, but still kind of school-like. So I'm going to put both box mixes in the bowl, but I'm also going to use 500 ml or a metric pint of yogurt, plain yogurt, instead of the egg and the butter or oil and the milk, because I want this to be a little bit denser. But also sometimes we have some ingredients and sometimes we have others, and sometimes we have to choose which of those ingredients we want to save for something else, and on this occasion I chose yogurt over everything else. If you are going to do that though, I would suggest putting a teaspoon of baking powder and another cup of plain flour or all-purpose flour in your mix. It helps to hold it together. The yogurt doesn't have as much binding agent to it, but adding the extra flour gives you the little bit of more dense texture, but also helps to hold everything a little bit more together than if you didn't put it in there, because we don't want a wet sloppy mess in it. Now once we've done that, we're going to mix it all very thoroughly together, hopefully keeping it all in the bowl. Apparently not, you know, because sometimes we don't always get it in the bowl. Sometimes it gets a little bit excited and jumps out the sides, so you know, but it happens. This is real life. This isn't like Saturday Kitchen, you know. So we're going to get this thoroughly mixed together, and once it's thoroughly mixed together, we're going to set it to one side, and we're going to get the sauce bit done, because can't be a pudding without a sauce. I found these as well at the same place as I got the cake mixes, so like I said, shop around, have a look for them. It's just the lemon pie filling that you can get inside, you know, box mixes. Like if you're going to make a lemon meringue pie or something and wanted to do one on the quick, you know, they work really well as sauces as well. And the one thing that I'm going to do here that I haven't done with the other, which is different off the box instructions. Now the box instructions tell you to add an egg yolk. I'm not doing that because I don't want it to set up like a lemon meringue pie. Of course, what I did learn while I was doing this was maybe it'd be a good idea to have a pair of scissors handy to open packets up, you know, so you know, it does slow down the process when you have to kind of rip and tear everything. But you know, sometimes we don't have a pair of scissors available to us, so we just have to do it. And yes, I am using both sachets in 2 boxes. That's what we want. That's what we're going to have. So while I'm trying to get these other 2 packets open, let's have a wee chat about the collab, shall we? This is Crocktober 2026, and it is one of my favourite collabs of all of them. And it's run by the wonderful Jeni over at Jeni's Scratch Made Kitchen. Now, on Sunday, November the 2nd at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is 9 p.m. GMT or UK time, there is going to be a giveaway. So you need to leave some really nice comments down below, because you might have a comment picker, and who would not want to do that, you know? And there's also a list of the other people who have been in the collab down below. Go and check them out and their videos, because they're awesome. And there'll also be a link to the playlist as well. So here we go, get on it. Now we've just added in our 400 mils of water. I've used warm water because I like it to, it doesn't matter, but it does help to dissolve the bits of sugar and stuff in it. Because this is a Ninja 8-in-1, we have it on the bake setting. Now, if you're going to do this in a slow cooker, I would have it on the high setting. And you're going to be cooking it for a little bit longer than I am. So once it starts looking solid, as if it's, you know, well and truly done, that's when yours will be done. It'll probably take 2 or 3 hours in the slow cooker on high. Mine, it's going to be somewhere between 30 minutes and an hour, I think. But I'll tell you at the end, because, you know, this is actually an experiment, and it's something I haven't done for a very long time, so we're going to give it a go. But put your cake mix in first. You know, make sure to get all of your bits in there, and only do this if your fingers are clean, please. Yes. And then, you know, you've got what's left on the spatula for you, because, you know, we're all big kids anyway. We're all someone's kid. Now, once we've done that, we're going to pour our lemon pie filling mix over the top. Now, just stay with me with this, okay? Just stay with me, and let's see what happens at the end. But that's what we're going to do, and that's how it works. And then just make sure you've got all the bits out of the bowl. Once we've done all that, we're going to pop our lid on and say goodbye and go and have a brew, because we deserve it. We've just made pudding, and the crock pot can do the rest for us. 45 minutes later, and we have our pudding is done. Now, it's not going to have that golden brown look on the outside as it would do if it was done in the oven, but I don't care. It smells amazing. The house smells incredible. I am really quite surprised at how lemony this smells, because, you know, when you get box sets and things that you don't make yourself from scratch, sometimes it just doesn't smell the right. And this one really does. Now, we are going to make the icing as a glaze, but it's going to be slightly different, because we're kind of going to use it a little bit like a syrup. Now, it's entirely up to you how you want to do this. Now, hopefully underneath we have a nice lemony pudding underneath. We're not going to know until we serve it. But what we also want to have is a little bit of a syrup that goes through the sponge, because that would be amazing as well, and just add to everything. And yes, okay, I could have put less water in it. I added 2 packets to this and put 100 ml of water. I probably could have done less and made it as a glaze, but honestly, I could see in the slow cooker that the pudding is looking a little bit caramelized around the edges, and I wanted to negate that a little bit as the thing cools down, because if I put the glaze in as it is, it will thicken up a bit. It will cool down that caramelizing so it doesn't singe, and because it'll still cook while the slow cooker's hot. Let's as it cools off, it's still going to cook, right? So we want to negate that possibility of the singeing. So I'm going to stab my pudding to death with the chopstick. Because last thing any of us want is the pudding coming to life and chewing our face off while we try and eat it. So while Tanny goes to go and get some milk so I can make some custard, because we want our pudding, even though it's like 11 o'clock in the morning, we're going to pour this icing mix straight over the top so that it can soak through the cake and down the sides of the pudding as well and act as a syrup. So we have an extra layer of moisture throughout this cake. Now, since dinner is like 5 hours from now, I'm not going to wait for custard, and I'm not going to wait for this to be afters. I am going to have some now because, quite frankly, my house smells like a lemon grove. And, you know, look at this ooey gooey stickiness, and I can't wait to show you. Now, the issue I'm having here is because I'm having to use a non-stick plastic spatula thing because it's a non-stick coating on the inside. Now, I don't normally worry about things like this, but I do with this one because it's a little bit expensive and I don't want to have to replace it in like less than 12 months. It is the ooeyest, gooeyest, and if you can see there, all that pie filling we made has gone to the bottom and created like a marmalade sauce. It could have, and we could have, see, there you go, there it is right there. Now, yes, it did catch on the bottom. We could have done it for 30 minutes and it probably would have been just as good, if not a little bit better, but that's okay. And because I'm not waiting for custard for later, because, you know, that means I can have seconds, I'm going to have cream on this bit. And can I just say, it's the ooeyest, gooeyest thing I've ever eaten. And yes, I will make it again. And yes, I'll probably find a way to make it from scratch again, rather than box mixes. Do I care about it being a box mix? No, it's what I had. It's what my brain is capable of doing right now. And I'm not upset about that. So, guys, don't feel guilty if you're not doing something from scratch. Do what you can with what you have. And you might just surprise yourself. Oh, and yeah, I do know it's a little bit burnt on the bottom. But you know what? The sweetness from everything in it is negated by the bitterness of the little bit that caught. So if you want to see more videos like this, or me in another collab or whatever, let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel and give the video a thumbs up so somebody else might watch it, and I will see you guys again very, very soon. Bye bye.